Welcome back. My name is Matt Bautel, and in this unit we're going to be learning about dialogues, right? It's really neat stuff here. I've got a picture of the app up here, but it's always more fun to actually get it running. So let's take a look here. So I have a simple little app here with a few buttons, and whenever I click on one, we're going to have a little dialogue launch, right? So about dialogues, the app shows what the different types of dialogues that are available, has a little icon, a title, a little message, even a button. So good stuff there. We have an exit dialog. So would you like to exit or get a toast message? So this guy right here, I'm not going to say exit because I don't want it to end here, but we'll say get a toast message, and it'll ask me, hey, guess you weren't sure, huh? Something kind of message like that. One that asks me about learning methods. So this particular version has little checkboxes here. So if I click, you know what? Yeah, lectures and demos and exams are okay, but I really like to learn from labs. Right, so I click this here and it will say, hey, yay for labs. Right, good stuff. And then our last one is a custom dialog. So this Rose Hullman sort of custom one with an image here and everything. I could lay this out however I like. And we click done. All right, so that's what we got going on. Lots of things to learn here. So what are our goals for the unit? So by the time we are done, you will be very good at creating different kinds of dialogues, right? So the first few that we saw were called alert dialogues, right? So it's actually these couple right here. We're going to look at some alert dialogues that also have items in them, like this guy, and we'll see how we can customize it to different kind of looks here. Custom dialogues, as we saw with any sort of layout. And then in lab, we're going to be looking at date and time picker dialogues, right? So this one right here is one that's for a date picker, right? So trying to choose a date. Interesting stuff, could be very practical for you. Along the way, we're also going to be learning about array resources, right? So how we can store string arrays in resource files, and we're going to be making pretty extensive use of what are called dialog builders. And the builder paradigm is fairly common in Android, so kind of a neat thing. So what is a dialog, right? So they're just little windows, right, that show up in front of our activities, right? So what it does is it takes focus, right? As you can see, this guy is clearly here in the foreground. Really good for things that are short-lived, like little notifications, something that's going to require user interaction, right? So that they can't just go along their merry way and ignore it, right? So they actually have to interact with it in some way, sort of acknowledge that they've read it or done something there. And I will say that we have seen before that activities can have a dialogue theme, right? We saw that in the linear lights out menu with the about, our about screen. So these things, actual dialogues, aren't as heavyweight as full-blown activities. They're gonna have less overhead, which means they're gonna load a little bit faster, use a little bit less memory. Should be good for us to use. All right, so to get started here, we got some starting code for you that you can click here, go to GitHub, wherever it's going to be, and we're going to create a new project. Again, make an Android project from existing code. Feel free to copy the files, no issues there. And then make sure that you rename the project as your own, right? So go ahead and change the app name, change the name of the Eclipse project especially. And take a look at the starting point. So again, nothing magical here, just a bunch of buttons with listeners already set up on them. Okay. All right, a little bit more about some of the dialog classes that are available to us, since we're doing kind of an overview mode here. So as I mentioned, the alert dialogs are sort of the most basic ones. So they can have anywhere from no buttons all the way up to a max of 3 buttons, as we see right here. They could have a list of selectable items. You either get to show a message or a list of items, your choice. As we said, the items could be checkboxes. They could even be radio buttons, all good stuff. Alert dialogues really should be able to give you almost anything you need, right? Unless you need some pretty serious customization. Right? There are some ones that have very specific tasks that are built in. And the most common ones that we're going to see here are the date and time pickers. And those are going to be ones that we're going to work some of the regular tutorials on and do them for lab. Okay, so good stuff. There's also a progress dialog that we're going to skip on here, but it's something you could pick up on your own very, very easily, right? So, so no big deal there. And we talked about customization here, so extending dialogues and defining your own layout. All right. That's all we got for you for the overview. Hope to see you next time as we start to dig in with alert dialogues.